Alright, so I wanted to make a video. I don't know if I explained, but I have a bit of a truck problem where I don't like to keep them that long and get a new one and yada yada yada. But I was conflicted whenever I got this truck. It's my dream truck. It's the limited Laramie Longhorn with the Ram boxes, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with it, if I was going to keep it for a year, get rid of it, get another one, I don't know. But I decided to keep the truck. I love it. And I was so conflicted about deleting this truck. I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I never have an issue about buying toys. It's always the accessories that I am kind of stingy about. So I want to go over what I've done with the truck, and we'll get to the goodie. So this is a 13 Ram 2500 limited, and it has a 3/4/2 axle ratio, good for highway. As far as the interior goes, it's filthy because I use it, but I have the wet Okalay seat covers front to back from a company in Hawaii. They're great, lifetime warranty. I mean, you can get whatever you want. You can get an integrated pistol pouch up front. You can get the map pockets in the back. You can get the gun cases to go across the rear, which I should have got, so I'm keeping my shit back here. But they're great. WeatherTech floor liners. Then of course you have your little cooler underneath. I have the windows tinted. I think they're only like 35% or 25%. I can't really remember. I just changed all the lights on the truck to LED. Now this truck has LED lights, but I changed the little things. So like the Ram box lights, it was really bothering me at night that they weren't LED, so I swapped those out. Turn signals and brake lights are LED, but I changed the reverse light to an LED, if you could see it in there. I changed my license plate lights. And then here you go. So last night, my friend Eli and I did the full delete on this truck. So we ran a 5-inch straight pipe Flow Pro turbo back. And a little fruit for thought. If you're deleting these trucks, it's to get the exhaust off and keep it together is a painstaking process. So to cut hours off of this, I mean, we just diced it up and took it off, and it cut the time in half. As far as putting this exhaust on, it's 10 times easier and opens up so much room underneath. As you can see, I have a little bit of buttoning up to do under there. Those were to spray the DEF fluid in. I have to zip tie those up. I'm not cutting any of that stuff off. To show you under the hood, so I have the full delete kit. And it's down in the barn in my shop. We didn't do it last night. These Race Me Ultra tuners, they delete the whole, they turn everything off, so you don't necessarily have to get rid of everything. But I have the whole kit to delete all this because I plan on getting a high flow intake manifold for this, and you have to do that. But all you have to do is unplug your EGR harness. I'm gonna zip tie these two. It was kind of just a quick thing. We got it done late last night, and we wanted to take it for a drive and test it. So all you have to do is unplug these. And if you watch, what is it called, Double R Diesel on YouTube, you see that the guy actually tests this to see with the Race Me Ultra, and he doesn't even straight pipe the exhaust. He leaves the stock exhaust on. He tests the soot levels, everything like that. Very knowledgeable gentleman. But anyways, the delete kit that I have, it blocks off this EGR harness system right here. And obviously this runs all the way over to your EGR cooler. So all this stuff will come off. I have everything. It's just a matter of me finding time. So I'm gonna run it a little bit like this. What I decided to do is that I didn't order my intake manifold yet. So I'm gonna wait until I get my intake manifold in, then I'm gonna take all this off and fully delete it. It opens up so much space in here, you know, whenever you're working on things. I kept the stock RAM air intake here. I like this active RAM. So you have it, there's an intake in here, there's a big cone that opens. Whenever you're sucking in water, it has a sensor in there that it can tell, it shuts it off and it takes it from the bottom. So it's extremely convenient. The hardest thing is with the, I mean, I can't even get in there, but the hardest part about the exhaust process is actually the downpipe. What we had to do is we had to take the inner fender well out, and to get this out, you have quite a few screws up and around. But the biggest pain is that you have these plastic clips. There's one here, and there's one right here. There's two plastic clips to remove, but there's two other bolts right here. And you can pull this thing out. Make sure you take this little sensor out right here. The flange that goes around the the back of the turbo into the downpipe is a super pain in the ass to get to, all because of this EGR cooler. And I couldn't fit my arms down in this small crevice to get to it. It's an 11 millimeter, and that's the biggest pain. You need two people. My buddy did it on his truck by himself, and he said it was an excruciating struggle. Another thing that I wanted to go over is that I got literally every LED light for this truck. So this truck has the, you know, the upgraded projector lights. I bought all LEDs from superbrightleds.com. I've got them from my Duramax, from my previous Cummins. In the Duramax, everything fit, everything worked. For this truck, it did not. It worked in my fog lights, but I couldn't get any of the headlights in because these projector lenses are completely 100% sealed in the back. There's about 5 or 6, what is it, 10, no, it's 8 millimeter bolts. It holds on the back of the light, so it's completely 100% waterproofed. There's literally, between the bulb and that gasket or that seal, there's literally that much room. And if you've ever seen an LED light, I'd show you, but it's down in my shop. They have huge cooling fins on the back and a harness, and it just doesn't work with this. So my buddy has the Bighorn Ram, and we ended up putting all my LED lights on his. The brights, the lows, we couldn't get in. The fogs, and they're incredible. I absolutely love them on my Duramax. I absolutely love the look of them, the price. Something to consider is that this truck is wired for low voltage, so LEDs don't put out anywhere near as much of a signal, basically, as regular halogen bulbs. They read very low, so if you don't have this ordeal, if you just have regular bulbs like a Bighorn Edition, the kit comes with the resistors, which we had to put on my buddy's truck. Otherwise it was reading all sorts of shit that, you know, this light was out, that light was out. So he has the resistors. The only thing that we didn't use resistors on was the fog lights on his truck, but the headlights we had to. And another thing to take into note is that I got all interior LED lights for my truck, and it ended up not even working in mine because apparently these are already LEDs in the front and in the back, whereas his were not. I wasn't expecting that because these are nowhere near as bright as the ones that we installed in his truck. Now, as for, you know, I haven't got to do any tests with the truck yet. We just finished it last night. So over the next month, I'm going to be doing the testing as far as gas mileage, that sort of ordeal. As far as sound, it's incredible how much of a sound difference it makes. I'm gonna do a video because I got to take the Maverick to the shop. I'm having all sorts of fucking codes on it, atypical. but I'll do an exhaust brake and a towing and all that stuff for you. But the exhaust brake, it sounds incredible. The turbo sounds incredible. The sound's great. My truck, it doesn't drone inside. It's completely, it's quiet. It's not loud at all. What can what was I gonna say? Yeah, I wanted to show you. So we have the Race Me Ultra tuner inside. Very easy to install. It takes about 10 minutes. Once you get this thing actually installed, so there's obviously a plug in the back. It plugs into your OBD port. I had that Edge CTS monitor in my Duramax, and that's the exact same thing. It plugs right into your OBD port. I didn't do an EGT sensor. I didn't feel like drilling into my manifold. And I ran it back through here. There's a little rubber grommet that runs through the firewall. If I had a light, I'd show you guys. I apologize. I'm kind of winging this video today. But now for the starting portion. Oh, Jesus. Hang on. I closed it like a Sally. So the starting portion. So obviously you would think that you have codes going off, all sorts of crazy shit, but you don't. So mine, you know, push start. Pretty freezing out, so I don't know how long it's going to take for the plugs to warm up. Okay, so it started. So this tuner goes all the way up to 200 horsepower. There's a little, I mean, it's seriously so small you think you can't touch anything. But it's RT, which I'm guessing it stands for real time. My buddy's is different. This is an updated version. So it has stock, I think 30 horsepower, 60 horsepower, 120, 150, and 200. It's great. I'm not gonna run it over 120. I'm running it on 60 now. I'd like for this truck to learn this whole system, you know, get used to it. It changes the shifting, everything. It shifts incredible now. I really didn't like the way my truck was shifting sometimes. Let's see. Real time, what did I do? What was it, define parameters? Yeah. So here's duration, default. So here's this. So 120 horsepower default. So 60 horsepower. So you can choose what you want. So you have 200, 150, 120, 60, and 30. So there isn't. So we choose 60 horsepower. So you could do economy spool, mild spool, quick spool. So it changes everything instantly. You know, it's you can hear the turbo so much more whenever you do the quick spool. Let's see here. So there's that. I don't really put it on the quick spool though. I've just been running on economy. I don't know anything about this timing. I don't mess with the rail pressure. I just did the tune. I got to figure out how to keep it on 60. I've been running it on 60 whenever we went on our little extravaganza last night. Remain stored, touch to close. This is you mean you have like 5 or 6 selections. You can fully customize this whole ordeal here. We'll get out so you can hear it. Wish I did a video for you guys. So that's how it sounds. It's pretty loud. But it sounds great when you're on the road. Good gig. definitely well worth it, I think, if you're going to keep the truck. My factory warranty is up next July, so I said to hell with it, because I'm going to keep it. But yeah, it's amazing. I do want to say this: I'm not a heavy foot driver. You know, I just drive the truck and I use it for what I need to use it for, towing, traveling, all that good stuff. And I will say this: I got on it last night with the 60 horsepower tune, and it took off like an absolute rocket. So, like I said, I don't want to push my luck on 120 or anything over that. 150, anything over 120, from what I understand, is you are extremely asking for trouble unless you do like 625 ARP head studs and you do a torque converter and a valve body for your transmission. I don't want to mess with that stuff, not until I have to. I have no interest in rolling coal or racing or doing any sorts of that shit. I just want to use the truck. I want it longevity. I want it to last. I want it to be reliable. But my buddy runs his on 120, and his truck's bone stock, and his truck is excruciatingly fast. Like I said, but not that that matters to me at all. I'm gonna do a video for you guys when, like I said, whenever I take the truck, or I mean the Maverick, to the shop. Something to, I mean, you can control also the high idle on this truck. You put the emergency brake on, you turn your cruise control on, and you press the minus button, and it will turn the idle up. So if you want to hear that, and you can increase it by pressing the plus sign, turn it off, just do that, and then you can release your brake. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I'm going to be posting more. I understand this is a lot of me just rambling on about nonsense, but you know, like I said, I'm going to change the tires after I run these down to nothing. I'm not putting on aftermarket wheels. I'm just taking the tires to 33s by 12.5 to 17s. I'm going to go with the Cooper ST Pros, because I have no interest in lifting this truck or doing anything like that. But yeah, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll be posting more stuff with the truck results, and then obviously whenever I do the full EGR removal and the high flow intake manifold and all that. Anyways, take care, you guys, and thanks for watching.